Okay, so we are ready to take a look at some of the skills in Photoshop that could be used to make an image, any image, look better. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, and for this one, we want to get a picture. It's more of a portrait, so I'm going to grab one of the pictures that we took this year, unlock the layer, go grab something that was from that was taken in the class. Not a photo booth picture, please, but one that was taken with a DSLR in the back of the room at some point during the year, so we can take a look at some of these things. So for starters, these images are really big, so let's get them more into the appropriate size for the web, for web viewing or phone viewing. So I'm going to go up here to image size, and make sure you're in pixels here. And in this case, my image is landscape, so we want to set our width. We want to change our width size. It's linked, so it'll automatically change the height as well. And also, I want you to resample it. Since we're making these smaller, we're reducing the size. I want you to go from automatic down here to bicubic sharpener, or sharper, bicubic sharper right here. Okay, and this would be for reducing an image size. And for the width, let's set it to 1200 pixels. So it's still decent size, but it'll load quickly into a web page. All right, so I got it set at 1200, and I noticed that my height adjusted to maintain the aspect ratio that I'm linked to. Now, if you have a portrait, if your picture was portrait layout, then the height would have been bigger and you would have set that to 1200. But since this is landscape, I set the width to 1200 pixels. We took care of our bicubic bicubic sharper reduction. Make sure resample is checked, and it is by default, and click OK. Oh, by the way, look at the image size. It went from 63 megabytes down to a little less than 3 megabytes. So a big difference in size, huh? Click OK. And you'll see that on the screen, but that's okay. If I do a command 1, that's the actual size on the web page. If I do a command 0, you can see it's still sharp, not too pixelated yet. So that was a good size to reduce to. All right, so to make a picture look better, especially when it comes to portraits, let's go right back to where we were with image size. And it's always nice to make, come on now, image size. Try to make us look a little skinnier. Cameras do kind of spread out our 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions a little bit. So this is okay to do without cheating too much on how you actually look. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna change pixels to percent. Okay, we're gonna unlink width and height so that we could just change one without affecting the other. We want to leave height alone. We just want to change the width, and we're just going to reduce it by 2%. So 2% from 100 would be 98%. And I'm going to click OK, and you can kind of see the difference now. That was before, that was after. And it just makes you look a little skinnier, you know? So not a bad thing to do. Command 0. Another thing you can do is go up here to Image, Adjustments, and I'm sorry, no, Image, not Adjustments yet, Image, and then we want to go to Auto Tone, and this will fix the tones in our picture. And so I'm going to click that, and you can see it kind of brighten things up a little bit, which is nice. So try to remember to do this, the auto tone. Click, engage the auto tone on the image. This could be for any image. You don't necessarily need to shrink a non-portrait picture, like a where you're taking a portrait. just your face. But if it's just something else that you're taking a picture of, doing the auto tone is a good thing to do. Makes the picture look better. And a few other things we could do as we shrink, sharpen, and save this image is we can go to the retouching tools, which I haven't talked much about yet. And those are important tools. So right after the selecting tools on the toolbar are the retouching tools. And the one I want to start with here is the spot healing brush. Looks like a band-aid with a dotted circle next to it. And the spot healing brush is really good at getting rid of spots. So I'm going to command plus, or actually use the zoom tool, because you guys may want to just do that. Kind of zoom in a little bit to my old wrinkly face. And remember, you can use the hand tool to move around a little bit. I'm going to go back to this spot healing brush right here. And it's a brush, so I can change the diameter. You want to kind of be a little bit smaller on these if you want to just get rid of little marks on your face or on your body. You just go up, put it in the center of your circle or of your brush and just click, and it will disappear. Get rid of some of these little guys that just are marks. And don't overuse this, because if you do, it will be noticeable. Okay. Also, make sure you use the right brush size. You don't want to do this. Oh no, now I can't breathe through my nose. Oh no, I gotta get to the history panel and let me undo those two. Oh, thank God, I can breathe again. All right. So that's the spot healing brush right there. Let's see if I need to do anything on my neck. Oh, probably, but anyway, just a few more things I can go get rid of. Make sure the brush size is the right size. Getting rid of all my little freckles, all my little blemishes. And like I said, don't get too crazy with this thing, okay? Less is more when it comes to spot healing brush. But it's useful to make your image look a little more photoshopped. All right, so let me command 0. Take a look at that. There we go. We got a real nice picture. Maybe one more thing we can play around with. I'm going to go and add an adjustment. Here's another adjustment, and this one's called the vibrance adjustment. It just changes the vibrance of the picture as well as the saturation, so I can get all crazy with it, right? Or I could just go a little bit. It's important as a new Photoshop user that you don't overdo stuff. So I'm just going to go up a few points just to increase vibrance and saturation to the whole photo. And again, lots of vibrance, maybe too much, so maybe just cool it down a little bit, right? Maybe to right about there. All right, and you can see there's my mask, and there's nothing. There's no mask. It's happening to the whole picture. That's okay. So there's some things you can do. So we just kind of looked at proper resizing of the image using the bicubic smoother to reduce the picture. We also made it a size that's good for the web or your phone. We also went and set auto tone to the image, and we used the spot healing brush to get rid of little blotches and things on our picture, and also added the vibrance adjustment. All right, so that's not bad. So let's save this file, save as, and why don't we call this, we're going to call this SpotFL, since we kind of focused on the spot removal tool, spot healing brush, I should say. So SpotFL. Let's make sure we name it or put it in our documents. Make sure you don't forget to do that. Keep it as a Photoshop file and save it. Then we're going to go File, Save As again. This time we're going to change it to a JPEG and click Save. click OK. And then now we have a SpotFL.jpg to put on our photo page on our WebStarts website. Very good. Thank you very much. That was 11 minutes or so. Actually, a little over 10 minutes. Not too bad. All right.